Imagine a tiny island, tossed by relentless winds and surrounded by unforgiving seas, growing to command a quarter of the planet's land and population. This is the story of the British Empire, a force unlike any other in human history. A network of colonies, trading posts, and dominions stretched across continents, influencing economies, cultures, and politics in ways that still resonate today. But how did a small, rainy archipelago rise to create an empire on which the sun truly never set? Let's embark on a journey through centuries of ambition, innovation, and sometimes ruthless power to uncover how Britain reshaped the world. Our story begins in the late 1500s, during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. England, at that time, was overshadowed by the mighty powers of Spain and Portugal. They had already carved up much of the globe. Yet, Elizabeth had a vision that extended beyond her shores. She sponsored explorers like Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh, daring men who sailed into unknown oceans, chasing both wealth and glory. Drake's circumnavigation from 1577 to 1580 returned with treasures, knowledge, and tales that fired the imagination of a nation ready to step onto the global stage. The pivotal moment came in 1588. Spain, the dominant maritime power, sent an armada of 130 ships to invade England. The English navy, aided by storms and clever tactics, defeated the armada, marking a turning point in naval history. Suddenly, England could challenge Spain's control over the seas. A new era of ambition had begun. By the early 1600s, England planted its first permanent foothold in the Americas. Jamestown, Virginia. Tobacco plantations flourished, fueled by both indentured servants and enslaved Africans. A grim reminder that the wealth of empires often came at immense human cost. At the same time, across the world, the East India Company was taking shape. Chartered in 1600, it began as a trading company dealing in silks, spices, and other luxury goods. Over decades, it transformed into a political and military force, maneuvering through alliances, wars, and diplomacy to dominate large parts of India. The 17th and 18th centuries saw rapid expansion. British colonies in North America thrived, supplying raw materials such as timber, fur, and tobacco, while importing manufactured goods from the homeland. This mercantilist system ensured that wealth flowed back to England, fueling further growth. But conflict was never far away. The 7 Years' War, fought from 1756 to 1763, became a truly global struggle between Britain and France. From the forests of Canada to the plains of India, battles raged. Robert Clive's victory at Plassey in 1757 secured British dominance in India and expelled France from key territories in North America. Victory brought power but also debt. To repay war expenses, Britain turned to its American colonies. No taxation without representation, the colonists protested. The result was the American Revolution from 1775 to 1783, which ended in defeat for Britain. Yet, this loss was a turning point rather than an end. Freed from America, Britain redirected attention and resources toward Asia and Africa, especially India. The East India Company expanded its control, trading opium with China and cultivating cotton, turning the subcontinent into the jewel of the empire. Meanwhile, back home, the Industrial Revolution began. Factories in Manchester, Birmingham, and other cities churned out textiles, iron, and steam engines at unprecedented speeds. Coal from Wales, iron from Scotland, and rivers powering mechanized mills turned Britain into the world's workshop. Innovations such as James Watt's steam engine and Richard Arkwright's spinning frame transformed production. Britain's industrial might demanded markets and raw materials, and the empire provided both. Cotton from India and Egypt, rubber from Malaya, gold from South Africa. The Royal Navy, unmatched in strength and reach, protected these trade routes, ensuring Britain's dominance on the seas. The 19th century was the age of empire at its height. The Opium Wars with China forced the opening of trade and led to Britain's acquisition of Hong Kong. Africa became a new frontier during the scramble for Africa in the 1880s, with Britain controlling vast territories from Egypt's Suez Canal to the Cape Colony. Railroads, mines, and ports spread across the continent, extracting wealth and imposing European order. Australia and New Zealand grew as settler colonies, often at the expense of indigenous peoples. What set Britain apart was not only its power but its adaptability. In India, Nigeria, and elsewhere, Britain often used indirect rule, governing through local leaders while imposing economic and legal systems. English became a global language. Railways connected distant colonies. Western-style legal systems and parliamentary governance left a lasting legacy. Yet the empire's achievements were inseparable from its human cost. Millions of Africans were enslaved in the Caribbean. Indentured laborers from India and China toiled under harsh conditions. Famines in Ireland and India, exacerbated by export-focused policies, killed millions. Rebellions, like the Indian Mutiny of 1857, were brutally suppressed, consolidating direct crown rule. The 20th century tested the empire like never before. In World War I, troops from India, Australia, and Africa fought and died for Britain. Yet the war revealed cracks, draining resources and fueling nationalist movements. World War II accelerated the decline, as Japan's conquests in Asia and the rise of the United States shifted global power. Britain emerged from the conflict bankrupt, exhausted, and facing an unstoppable tide of independence movements. India in 1947, Ghana in 1957, and many more countries in the 1960s claimed sovereignty. By 1997, with the handover of Hong Kong, the sun finally set on the empire. Even as it dissolved, the British Empire's legacy endured. It shaped legal systems, governance, trade networks, and infrastructure across continents. English became the world's business language. Sports like cricket and traditions like tea spread globally. But the empire also left scars. Partitioned nations, cultural erosion, economic inequality, and historical grievances. Its story is one of ambition and innovation, conquest and exploitation, glory and tragedy. A reminder that power always comes with consequence. History, after all, is not just a record of facts. It is the story of humanity's choices and their enduring impact. The British Empire reshaped the world in ways that still touch every continent, every economy, and every culture today. Its lessons about ambition, responsibility, and the cost of power remain relevant. The empire may have ended, but its story, and the questions it raises, continue.